we do have some breaking news to get to here on this Wednesday afternoon in a case that has focused the eyes of the world on our corner of Georgia. Verdicts have been reached in the trial over the death of Ahmaud Arbery. All three men have been found guilty in the trial of murder. Travis McMichael found guilty on all 9 counts. That includes malice murder, 4 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of false imprisonment, 1 count of criminal attempt to commit a felony. Gregory McMichael was found not guilty of malice murder, but was found guilty of 4 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of false imprisonment, and 1 count of criminal attempt to commit a felony. William Roddy Bryan was found not guilty of malice murder, not guilty on 1 count of felony murder. He was found guilty on 3 counts of felony murder, found not guilty on 1 count of aggravated assault, found guilty on another count of aggravated assault, found guilty of false imprisonment, and found guilty of criminal attempt to commit a felony. So again, all 3 men found guilty of murder, and we can officially now refer to this as a murder, and hopefully some peace will come to the Arbery family. I know his mother, I can't imagine what this has been like for her going through this situation, seeing her on television and some of the absurd statements she had to endure from the defense. So hopefully this brings her some peace. I do want to give credit to the jury. I want to give credit to the entire Justice Department in Glenn County for their handling of this case. I think we've seen in some other recent cases where high-profile stuff like this was not handled well. I thought they've done a really nice job, and especially these last few days where things got really contentious. I appreciated the judge and some of the things he had to say in terms of the remarks made by the defense attorneys. So again, hopefully some peace for the Arbery family. Hopefully some good can come out of this, but more so than anything, we can call this what it is now, a murder. We can call all of them what they were and are, murderers. Yep. And hopefully healing can begin for the Arbery family.
Yeah, it's what you said as far as the jury. Actually, they got it right. Some of this recent stuff I've seen where they haven't gotten things right. As far as the Rittenhouse situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't inherently want to compare these two.
I don't want to compare that. Yeah, I'm not comparing that, but it's good that they actually got something correct. I was happy about it.
We saw it work.
Yeah, we saw it work. So, obviously that's not going to bring their baby boy back. You don't want to see anybody go, but it's a tough situation. I don't really want to speak too much on it because, I don't want to get to that extent. We are on radio. I don't want to get to that extent, but my thoughts and prayers out to his, to his family and his loved ones.
For sure. It's emotional, and this isn't the podcast or Sirius XM. So, I mean, PJ, any thoughts on the news? Again, this is happening just moments ago.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. I think, like you said, healing can some sort of healing can begin. Nothing is going to bring him back and or anything like that. But hopefully, at least for the friends, for the family, for the whole community that's been coming together through this tough time now for over the course of a few years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we can finally lay this to rest, and the people who deserve justice got justice, and the people who are hopefully going to get what they deserve are getting exactly that. So, it's I never quite have the words for a moment like this, but I'm happy to see, like you said, everything worked. Justice has been served. What was so clear on that video. What was so clear was not misconstrued and not changed by words or anything like that. As you said, I commend the jurors and the judge as well throughout this whole process. And I commend and thoughts and prayers especially are to the mother there of Ahmaud Arbery, and just having to watch and hear that and listen to, like you said, the phrases, the words that were said by the defense and things like that. But Thankfully, now justice can be served here, and healing can begin. There's a very real process to this whole stuff, not only in with the justice process and things like that, but with emotional and with mental.
It's been grief delayed.
Exactly. So finally, I'm a big believer in all that kind of stuff. Finally, those things can officially begin, and that process can go on.
Again, all of these guys found guilty on multiple counts of felony murder, and this is just the beginning for them because the federal hate crime has not even begun yet. So there's a whole lot more coming down the track for these three convicted murderers now. We'll keep you updated as the situation develops. But again, happening just a few minutes ago, Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and William Bryan all convicted on multiple counts of felony murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit a felony. We will wait to hear what the sentencing is for these murderers. And again, our thoughts and well wishes and prayers with the Arbery family. This is ESPN Radio. We'll be right back after this. Second Down on ESPN Radio is presented to you by the Uniform Source. Christian Gokel alongside PJ Zuko and Cam Urshery. As we mentioned in the previous segment, if you're just joining us here, the breaking news coming out of Brunswick, Georgia. All three men found guilty of felony murder, along with a bunch of other charges in the death of Ahmaud Arbery. We do have some sports to get to here on the show today. A lot of big stuff happening in the world of college football. And guys, last night, college football playoff rankings come out. No surprise, Georgia remains number one. It's after that things got very interesting. I think college football playoff committee agreeing with me. Ohio State right now, the clear number 2, and I actually have them as like the 1B team in the country right now because that offense is that good. They're number 2 in the playoff rankings. Alabama dropping down to number 3 after only beating Arkansas by a touchdown at home. Cincinnati, the Bearcats,
Finally.
number 4.
Finally.
So as of right now, if the season ended, Cincinnati would be in the college football playoff. They still have a game at Eastern Carolina coming up, and then I believe they play Houston in the conference championship game, so that'll be a ranked game. Eastern Carolina's no slouch either, so if they go and handle Eastern Carolina on the road and then handle Houston in the conference championship game, even if they just beat Houston, they should get in. You have that one sitting just outside the top 5 is also pretty interesting, but I want to stay with this top 4 for right now. Do you think they got it right bumping Ohio State above Alabama?
I think it's
not that any of this matters.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Well,
It
I
don't
think
matter,
that sets the table, right? I think with how Ohio State has looked over the past 3 or 4 weeks, and like you said, like I said yesterday, I have turned my stance a little bit because they've finally proved it to me. You're not going to prove it to me against Rutgers, and I know, Michigan State, Penn State aren't the best teams in the country. But at least consistently, they're putting these kind of performances together, and to be, I think, one of the best teams in the country. That's what you have to do, and that's what you should do. We've seen Georgia do it all year, so we're finally starting to see that from Ohio State, which is odd because I think we're starting to kind of see a little bit of the difference from Alabama, and not only against like Ohio State is doing it in the perfect way, right? They're doing it. They're getting teams at the right time, right when they're getting ranked or when they're up in the top 10 or something like that, and they're absolutely dismantling them. Alabama's struggling with it's odd, right? Because I don't think they're mightily struggling, right? Their offense certainly
the
isn't,
offense
but
is awesome. The defense is just
the defense
very
is so. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they're
KJ
doing
Jefferson
so against
for 300 yards against
yeah,
them.
it's wild. The unranked team. So, I think they got it
Not
right.
anymore, baby.
And,
Number 25.
yeah, and finally seeing Cincinnati up there at number 4 is a breath of fresh air to me. I think they probably should have been up there most of the time here. I don't know about 2 or 3 with them, but 4 at least. So I think this also sets the table. I never thought they would move if Alabama lost the SEC championship game. I never thought they would move them from 2 to like 5 or 6. But now you start with a little bit of a slide here.
Yep.
Move them down to 3. Now it's becoming more believable. Oh, they lost to Georgia by 7. Not quite good enough. Move them down to 5. So I know they can do whatever they want,
Sure.
but now it just looks more realistic.
I would still go Bama too. I know
Really?
Ohio State. They had a good past week, but if I'm talking about the overall totality of the season, I would still go Bama. But I mean, things are interesting. If Bama beats Georgia will more than likely fall to 2, 3. Ohio State moves up to 1. Maybe Bama moves up to 1, and Bama and Georgia play again, back-to-back games. But what was interesting to me was I seen Oak State at 7, and I seen Baylor at 8. Yeah, it's not crazy that I say this. Baylor could be the first 2-loss team to make the college football playoffs, but they have a lot of rooting to do. They need Oklahoma to lose, Oak State to win, then they get the rematch with Oak State. I believe whoever's the Big 12 champion this year will go to the college football playoffs. So,
wow,
as cool as it is for Cincinnati to be at number 4, if Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State, Oklahoma would jump to 6. They have to rematch them again in the Big 12 championship. Whoever wins that, I think will go to the college football playoffs.
I think they put Notre Dame in over a 2-loss
Baylor.
Big 12 champs.
See, that's my thing. I think
don't
it
know.
depends on who
If
wins
it's
those games.
Baylor-
If it's Baylor, I'm not sure. Man.
If it's Baylor, I don't know because Baylor is already at 8. If you
Yeah.
get 2 big wins, because I don't know who their last game of the season is, but if you get that big win against, let's say, a number 5 Oklahoma State, and Notre Dame's just sitting at home chilling,
No, if I'm Notre
don't
Dame,
know.
what I'm saying is, yeah, sure, they played a conference championship game, and that's great. I'm still Notre Dame, and my one loss is to who you have ranked at what? That'd be number 3 at that point,
yeah,
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
right.
it's a chance though.
I
It's
mean,
a chance.
Notre Dame would kind of have the same argument as a Georgia that lost to Alabama, right? It's like
True.
where I beat everybody else except for the team that you have ranked as number 1 or number 2.
Or could they do them like last year when Texas A&M they only lost to Alabama, didn't play a conference championship game, and didn't get in? It could be the same, right? It could be. It's weird. It's weird how the committee does
I
it,
think
but
so.
it's yeah.
Ohio State's going to take care of Michigan this week. I mean, that's pretty clear to
Y'all
me.
really
and-
locking that in?
And we'll
like
get
that?
to bro,
Ah,
Cam.
I don't know.
Cam.
Something's got to give.
Cam.
I've said it.
Let me,
Something's
okay,
got
let, me
to
just,
give.
let me just throw 2
I'm
names
still gonna
at you.
pick Ohio
Let me
State.
just, let me just throw 2 names at you. CJ Stroud, Cade
K
McNamara.
McNamara. Yeah.
That's all you need to know about this
I
game.
mean, I've seen.
Listen, Chad
crazy
Henne ain't
things
walking
happen.
through those doors.
Mm-mm.
I've seen Jake Coker. No, who was it? It wasn't Jake Coker who won the national
Yeah,
championship.
it was.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's won the national championship before. He
Sure.
beat
Okay.
Deshaun Watson.
He's no Shane McNamara. I'll say that at the same time. Like Coker was Coker, but he's still better than Shane
McNamara, he's had. I don't know if Coker's won one. I don't think.
Jake Coker won a national championship with
Yeah,
Alabama.
he did against Deshaun Watson the first time. Then
Yeah.
Hurts lost the second time.
Yo,
But I
let's
will
be-
say-
let's
That's
be
where
real,
OJ
though, like,
Howard had like 8,000 receiving yards in the college football
Yeah.
playoff.
yeah, 'cause they left him wide open.
But
And
McNamara,
at the
he's had
same
a
time, like,
game. He's had a solid game before.
Coker didn't win that national championship. Like the team around him.
yeah.
Like he did a
Bo
solid
Scarborough-
job. He was
Bo
pretty
Scarborough
good.
and Amari Cooper.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying. I'm just.
like,
I'm
does
just
Michigan
saying.
have an Amari Cooper on their team?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
They're banged up at running back. I mean, I could tell you all about Michigan, and it's not good.
It's just. I don't know.
They
They're
got
on the
two
Is
road.
defensive
there
ends.
is there a Kenyon Drake on Michigan?
Heck no.
Is there a TJ Yeldon
I,
on Michigan?
hey,
got a
I'm
pretty-
just bringing some
They got a pretty
enlightenment.
solid
I'm
running back,
enlightened.
but right now it's all on him because all the other guys are banged up. So
But-
like you got a running back, 17 tight ends because Harbaugh's your head coach that are okay, and 2 defensive ends that are really really good.
I will say
Other
this
than
though.
that, that's all Michigan.
They
has.
got 2 defensive ends that's going to go top 10 in the draft.
That's what I'm
So if
saying.
you
Yeah,
could get
for
some
sure.
pass rush from Stroud, you could do something. But Ohio State, like you said yesterday, they haven't performed well against good defenses. So I don't necessarily know what could happen. So rivalry
And
game.
here's my question about
on the
Michigan. Though.
road.
Do they actually have a good defense, or have they been playing just really bad offenses? Because they gave up 37 points to Michigan State.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll tell you firsthand, Penn State moved the ball really well until they got to the 35, and then that's where the offense
But
self-destructs.
but think
all
about what you
year.
just
But,
said.
like,
Penn State moved the ball really well.
that's exactly
like
what I'm saying.
Penn State
yeah.
has one of the best defenses in the country, but Penn State's offense is atrocious.
Right, and they had
They've
every
scored how many
opportunity
points in
to-
8 overtimes?
18. That's what I'm saying. They had every opportunity to run away with that game. In the first quarter, Penn State had 175 yards
Yeah,
and 3 points because they self-destruct. But like Ohio State's not going to do that, especially not
Yeah.
right now.
Michigan being
That's all
ranked
I'm
number
saying.
5 is just fraudulent. The only reason they're doing it is for this week in TV views. It's just and I guess it's like somebody's ranked there because someone has to be. Like, can you honestly tell me, like, out of these 4 teams, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Ole Miss, I'll say 5 teams, and Oklahoma, can you honestly tell me any of those are better than the other one?
You talk. You just say Oklahoma
I said
State.
Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma. Can you
Well,
honestly tell me that any of them are better than the other one?
See, age-old argument, right? Are we
I could
talking
tell you the
about-
top
Are we
2.
talking about more talented, or are we talking about full body of work?
No, I'm just saying, like, if they all played each other, I think they'd all like come out 500.
Yeah,
Like,
No,
it's
no,
just-
they- yeah.
you're
So
right.
it's just I get that the rankings don't inherently matter, but it's just Michigan being up there just seems fraudulent to me. I think Ohio State's going to absolutely eviscerate them. But that being said, so that takes care of Michigan. Georgia and Alabama are going to play each other. I think what everybody's rooting for, we've been saying this for a while, is Georgia to beat Alabama. Because if
Yeah.
Georgia beats Alabama, that opens up that 4th slot. If not, I
Mhm.
think it goes chalk. I think if Alabama beats Georgia, they're both in. Ohio State beats Michigan, wins the Big Ten championship, they're in. Cincinnati wins out. I think they're saying they're in.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So you have to hope, if you're someone else, that Georgia beats Alabama, or Wisconsin upsets Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. Cincinnati drops one, something like that. Because if not, you're looking at the 4 teams that are going to make it.
You
Yeah.
Now, what could possibly happen? Alabama beats Georgia. Alabama jumps to 1, which I assume that would happen. But it could also be a scenario where Bama beats Georgia. Georgia's 3, Bama's 2, and then they rematch again.
No, they won't
that
do
could
that.
happen
That's what I'm
they
saying.
would, if they,
That's
I
what
would
I'm
have
saying.
Bama
They won't
jump
do
to
it.
if they
1.
jump Bama to 1, they'll put Georgia at 3.
At 3 and
Yeah.
have Ohio State and
State,
Georgia.
Ohio State
Yeah,
too. Yep.
that's what I was thinking. That would be the more logical thing. Not have them rematch back-to-back weeks. That would kill the whole thing. But as a Georgia fan, we all know what we want. Just get them out the way, fellas. Just get them
I'd
out the
say
way.
the teams that have a realistic shot if Alabama loses are Notre Dame, Oak State,
Yep.
and Oklahoma.
Mm.
I think because
Coming
Oklahoma,
all the way back
if
up.
Oklahoma wins out
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Alabama loses and that slot opens up, they're in. I don't know that Oklahoma jumps Cincinnati at this point if Alabama beats Georgia.
That's a whole lot of movement in
Yeah.
a couple
But
weeks by Oklahoma.
it's
though.
a whole lot of movement, but at the same time, like they're playing
not like
number
they-
7
yeah.
Oklahoma State this week
Mhm.
Right.
out on the road, I believe. So if you
Yeah.
beat them on the road,
And
it's
you got to
Bedlam.
rematch them again.
Yeah, you play them again.
I don't think they
If-
win
if-
back-to-back.
If you beat
weeks.
them twice, I think they're
Oh, yeah.
certainly making a strong case. At that point, could Cincinnati get
They'll get jumped.
get bumped
Absolutely.
out,
Yeah.
and then just the chaos begins clamoring for the 12-team playoff. I don't know. It's going to be really fascinating to watch, but we do have some just awesome rivalry games coming up this weekend. I don't inherently want the picks here, but I do want to talk about some of them. Which rivalry games you guys looking forward to the most? I mean, it's going to be after we are just
Oh man.
absolutely stuffed full of Thanksgiving food.
I think that's the problem. It's like the best dessert, right? Because it's all weekend. You have Thanksgiving food, all that kind of stuff, and then you wake up Friday. Don't go Black Friday shopping because like who's
No,
able
we
to
have
do
Amazon for that
who's-
now, you savages.
who's able to
Mhm.
do that? Yeah, exactly. So like you just sleep in, and then you're like, oh wait, what? There's college football. Oh, it's college football. Oh, it's rivalry games.
Oh, this,
my
is like
God,
this is one of my favorite
fantastic.
college football weeks of the year.
Absolutely. I think one of the most fun, whether it means something or not, which like this year it actually could mean, a little bit, because you got one team ranked in the top 10. Is always the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State, Ole Miss
When you
is
speak about
always
the Egg Bowl, I need a
entertaining.
little bit more excitement in your voice, sir.
The Egg Bowl, man.
Thank
It's
you.
the Egg Bowl. Yeah. No, I don't. You know what I mean? But no.
The only reason anybody remembers Elijah Moore
Yeah, it's because of the Egg Bowl, and
because of the dog peeing on a fire hydrant
then
routine.
immediate karma after that. Coming back
Yep,
and losing the game.
missing a field goal.
Yeah,
Matt
exactly.
Luke gets fired. Now Lane Kiffin's the head coach at Ole Miss. And then I think your boy Moorhead after that game, because people were like, "Oh, he's a Yankee," and he's like, "Well, you guys are gonna have to carry my Yankee ass out of here." And well, they did.
Yeah,
like, a
one
month
way
later.
or the other.
So
One way or the other, they got
Yeah.
him out. No, that is one of the most entertaining for sure. Obviously, you have the Iron Bowl, and that always is huge. Although it kind of lost its luster, I think, a little bit
Let me
this
ask
year.
you. Let me ask you this: which is a bigger? I'm not saying like in terms of like for this season. I'm just saying overall, which is a bigger game, Iron Bowl or the game?
Oh, Iron Bowl.
I'm
Well,
with
this
Cam.
is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
Heck yeah.
Now, it's the Iron Bowl.
Mm.
Yeah. And we've had 10 to 15 years. This is okay. You can do whatever you want. You can hum or whatever. We've had 10 to 15 years of utter domination in the game where, by the way, it doesn't really matter because it's going to happen. And Ohio State's always going to make it to the freaking college football playoff for national championship after they dismantle Michigan.
They've only made
And
it twice.
You've also had, at the same time, you've had 10 to 15 years
3
of
times.
Auburn and Alabama always mattering and always being up there in the top 5, top 10, and it going back and forth. What is that face, man?
No, just carry on. I was not listening.
This is my biggest frustration,
That's
man.
not-
Like if you got something to say,
That's
say
not
it.
li-
Don't
no,
get-
I
don't
want to
give
let
me
you
a
finish your
face.
point, but I
Give me a
wear
face.
my
That's all I'm saying.
I wear
is
my emotions on my sleeves, man.
We've had 10 to 15 years of like the exact opposite things happening. That's why, in y'all's mind, the obvious answer is the Iron Bowl. But I think it's pretty even. I think if you look over the history of college football, I think it's
that's
pretty
fair
even.
when you say like they're pretty close, but I do think the Iron Bowl, because you talk about the history of college football, Alabama's been one of the most dominant teams of all time. Probably say the most dominant team of all time. Most national championships. You had the Bear Bryant and Nick Saban. I think a lot of people argue those are the two greatest head coaches in the history of college football. And this is their biggest rival in Auburn. And this game is always awesome. Like it really doesn't matter what the records are. Every now and then, like with every rivalry, you're going to have years where somebody kicks the crap out of the other team.
Of course.
But you're also going to get the comeback. You're going to get the kick six. Like those two moments. Is there anything that's anywhere remotely similar to that
No.
from the game?
That's what I'm saying.
Like
is
maybe
you
the fourth,
also
maybe
have
the fourth down stop.
right.
But like,
That bogus.
but that was-
No, you mean the
was
first
more of the
down because that was the first down.
but yeah, that was more of the official screwing
Nah.
up than somebody making a play.
I didn't see a screw up.
That
But
the officials messed up with that
I
one.
mean, the ball was over the yellow line. That's a first down. You kind of prove my point a little bit because like two of the greatest plays and greatest finishes college football history have happened over the past 10 to 15 years in the Iron Bowl. So you're exactly right. All that happening while
But I
Ohio
don't
State
think this is some
Michigan
like
is a
new kid on
40-point
the
game
block
every
with
year.
the Iron Bowl, man. Like from I think I got the
Like-
dates up here. Oh yeah, from 1904 to 1988, every Iron Bowl was played in Birmingham. So
Yeah,
this
they
was a quote unquote neutral site game for a long time.
Right.
But then Pat Dye got to Auburn and he said, "Hey, I want to play this game home and home." This is back when I don't know about when Pat Dye got there, but for a long time with Bear Bryant, there wasn't a scholarship limit. So they would play all over the state of Alabama. They play at Legion Field. They play back in Tuscaloosa. They play there's one other that I'm missing in there somewhere. But it's because they can just go around the state and recruit and basically play their home games all around the state. They played the Iron Bowl every year in Birmingham. Pat Dye got there. He's like, I want this as a home and home. Bear Bryant said, well, it's too bad. We got a contract. He said, well, fine. You know what? We'll ride out the contract. And then in 1989, they played their first Iron Bowl in Jordan-Hare. I don't know if it was called Jordan-Hare back then. I'm that part of my Auburn history isn't great, but they played it in Auburn, and Auburn won the game. So it's just there are so many cool moments. That's 1989,
Yeah,
2010,
absolutely.
number 11 versus number 2.
Right. That's
Like,
awesome.
that's big time. That like to me is the Iron Bowl by a long shot. Like I think the game's number 2 just because I think we get a lot of years like this where the media hypes up Michigan to be something it's not. Where Michigan is to me kind of like Tennessee. They haven't really been relevant since the late 90s.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Tennessee. I think that's maybe a little far, but
Why?
no, I agree. I
Why is
agree in
that
the sense
far?
of like all the times we've thought their championship potential like it isn't. That's not really.
I don't
true
think
at all.
that's too far because I mean, yeah, just because Tennessee's been like bottom of the barrel the previous few years.
They're about the same.
Before that, you had Josh Dobbs.
Eric
Was tearing them
Berry.
up. You had the Eric Ainges and the Kelly Clausens and all those dudes in
Yeah,
the
I
early
think-
2000s where they had good teams. They were really good teams, but they were never championship level and they always got hyped up and they'd always lose in the big games. So it's like to
Right.
me, Michigan's Tennessee. Ohio
Similar.
State's been the elite of the elite.
Well, yeah, for sure. Completely agree with that.
And again, and for me, a rivalry game, you need to be at least somewhat competitive. And I'll give Auburn credit. I think Gus Malzahn beat Nick Saban 3 times.
Close. Yeah, it's
Got him with Nick Marshall in the kick six. They beat when Tua got hurt.
Yeah.
Bo Nix
right.
won that game. I think I'm missing another one in there somewhere. But regardless, Ohio State has beaten Michigan every single time over the last 21 years. They have 3.
Yeah, no, I agreed. That's
3
What
No,
Auburn?
since
Auburn has
2000.
what
Yeah, that's what I
3
said, yeah.
or 4 in this decade.
They've
Yeah.
been dominating them. It's
Yeah.
been embarrassing, for sure.
So I'm just saying.
I agree with that. Well, I mean,
Like,
I
to
don't.
me-
You're
to
right.
me-
I don't have the stats and the
to
stories
me-
in front of me or
to
anything
me,
like
the
that.
game, you have a computer in front of you. To me, the game is pretty similar right now, just in terms of competitiveness to clean old fashioned hate.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. That's why we're all talking
You
about
put it
a
like that, yeah.
30-point blowout tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah, I
mean,
think Ohio State's going to
I'm with you
eviscerate
there.
Michigan.
Yeah.
This is going to be bad. I think it's just Ryan Day just like trying to put the nail in. No, you know what? Maybe Ryan Day lets it stay close-ish, like 2 touchdowns, just so Jim Harbaugh keeps his job, so you keep him right there.
Yeah, it's true.
See, what Kirby Smart did was he put the nail in the Dan Mullen coffin, kind of just broke that team, and then
Mm-hmm.
after that, they just went on this losing streak, and now Dan Mullen's fired. Well, there's a chance Florida goes out there and hires somebody that turns it around, and that's not what you want. You want to keep the guy right where you want him.
Why not?
You just keep Jim Harbaugh right there.
Go ahead, Michigan.
Like
keep,
a
keep winning 9 to 10.
35-21 score.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
like, and
That looks
Michigan's, you know,
appealing.
and Michigan fans are like, you know what? We won 10 games. It was close.
We're
Yeah.
2 scores
Yeah,
away
just-
from
and then
being there.
The Michigan fans can tell themselves
Maybe
we're one-
next year.
We're a recruiting class and a transfer away, baby.
We're a quarterback away.
Yeah, we're a recruiting class and a Spencer Rattler away. Come on, Spence. Let's do it, baby.
Yeah.
I can actually
Rat
see
pack.
that. That's a
Rat Pack.
great
If
take.
Spencer
That's a
Rattler
good- that's a
goes
good
to
thought.
Michigan, we will never see him again. He will disappear into a black hole void, and we will never see him
Is
again.
that bad?
When was the last time a Michigan quarterback made it to the NFL?
Oh my gosh. Denard Robinson turned into a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. No, what is it?
Chad
An-
Henne.
An offensive weapon.
It was Chad Henne. That's the last
Chad
quarterback.
Henne, one of their best
So
quarterbacks.
over a decade since
the
they
past
produced an
25
NFL
years.
quarterback.
Oh yeah.
And he's been a career backup.
Like at least Penn State can throw Christian Hackenberg and Trace McSwirly out there.
Never
Yeah.
mention his name again, please.
I don't even know a lot of.
Don't say his name. Like he couldn't break a huddle in the NFL. That's how bad he was.
Well, that's
because y'all didn't
teach him at
I'm
Penn
not
State,
gonna. I'm not
baby.
gonna go there.
At
Y'all
least,
didn't
at
teach
least,
him. I'm
at
not
least
gonna
y'all
go
put a quarterback in. Michigan,
Couple of them.
they haven't been able
Actually,
to do
we
that.
put a quarterback in who won a Super Bowl
That's right.
as a fullback, Michael Robinson.
That's right.
Shout out my
Hey,
boy.
he got a Super Bowl. I
And
don't know
Trace
any.
McSorley was
He's
on
a-
the Ravens.
I don't know a lot
monster.
of Michigan
He's
weapons
Cardinals
that's in the
now.
NFL.
Yeah,
Is he still playing around somewhere?
He is.
And he's
He
playing
is.
quarterback in the NFL. That's all that
I
matters.
don't even know a lot of weapons from
Amazingly
Michigan.
underappreciated.
Who? Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, it hasn't been good.
I think he's the only like offensive player in the NFL that I could think of that's in the NFL.
You had
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Devin Gardner, who switched to a wide receiver as well, old number 98
Okay.
quarterback there at Michigan.
That's-
Oh my
if you
goodness,
remember
now you're
that.
bringing up memories.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He switched to wide
Yeah,
receiver.
it's bad. They haven't had offensive weapons in the what's his name? Jabril Peppers. He's in the NFL, but
He's a monster.
Well,
he was
We all know
Yeah,
everywhere.
who
he's a
everybody's
safety.
favorite Michigan player is in the NFL. Your starting left guard for your Atlanta Falcons, Jalen Mayfield.
well, you see how that's turned out.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a whole lot of blocking tight ends.
Yeah, you see how that's turned out with Jalen
Nico
Mayfield,
Collins is still in the league.
Jabril Peppers. I don't even know who he plays for. Giant
So
still.
many blocking tight ends.
A
Does he
lot
play
of
for the Giants still? I
You're
don't
going to see
know.
a lot of blocking tight ends, some
Oh, yeah.
some defensive
That's
ends,
kind of depressing.
and every now
It is.
every
Wow.
now and then
the Steelers love
Safety.
Michigan players. We got 4 of them.
maybe that's why we're struggling so bad this year.
Oh, not as much as the Patriots do. The Patriots have 5 of them. Wow.
Well,
Patriots.
They must be
Bill
defensive
Belichick,
players.
Bill Belichick though will find
You have a guard.
one school.
I don't know
You're not going to get any skill position players from Michigan.
what's an OB.
What is a OB?
An offensive back. I don't know.
It's 1907.
I don't know.
Oh my
Chase Vinovich,
Oh,
Quinn Norden, Cameron McGrone. He's a
it's
Chase
bad.
Winovich,
He's
yeah,
a-
he's that guy
Cameron
with the
McGrone is an
locks.
IB. You got an IB and an OB.
Inside back, outside
inside
back.
backer, outside backer. Yeah,
Wow.
there you
There
go.
you go.
There you go. Because
No,
Chase,
because
Chase Winovich
no,
played
because it
defensive
lists
end.
them. It lists them as OLB. Outside linebackers are listed as OLB. What the hell's an IB?
Inside backer, inside linebacker.
No,
I guess
because
that's
it
what it's
literally
supposed
has
to
it
be.
listed as ILB, OLB. This is just OB and IB.
Oh
man,
my
no.
gosh. You gotta go back that far to find some skill position players from Michigan. It's embarrassing.
On the
You
bench.
would think they would be able to like recruit,
on bench.
get some guys that can play offense.
In bench.
Yeah, I don't
In
know.
bench. He is the
Oh
bench.
Lord.
I wish they had A B. So they had like
Yeah.
on bench and then around bench. Like the guys around the bench are the ones that get you the water.
I actually heard that Cam played in guard and tackle when he was
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know
Here it
what
Yeah,
goes.
you sat at the end of the
in
bench,
guard.
you guarded the water cooler, and you tackled anybody that got near it.
Yep. I'm just
Okay,
happy. You didn't say that
Cool.
about me.
I play that for football. Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Cam, you're leading in guard and tackle. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back with our picks next right here on Second Down. Second Down on ESPN Radio is presented to you by the Uniform Source. 2 different locations in Savannah to take care of all of your uniform need, as we do every week. We're going to get to our picks. This is the final show of the week before we head off for Thanksgiving. And guys, rivalry week is here. That was always the toughest week for me to pronounce. So I really just want to go rivalry week and get out of here. But I'm trying to enunciate rivalry week is here. I don't know. Rivalry week sounds better. So we're just going to go
Sounds
rivalry
good.
week.
Yeah, solid.
It's just like one, you don't actually ever bring like your tongue to the roof of your mouth or like close your mouth. It's just rivalry week. And then we're going to get after it. So we're going to start off with the Egg Bowl coming up on Thursday night. Number 9, Ole Miss at Mississippi State. The unranked Bulldogs, 1.5-point favorites at home. We do got to kind of get through these quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I don't think Mississippi State doesn't have enough to keep up with them, and Ole Miss strong throughout last few weeks. So give me Ole Miss.
Matt Corral announced he's not coming back to Ole Miss next year. I predict about 400 yards this game. Give me Ole Miss.
Oh, you sweet summer children. Will Rogers is about to eviscerate Ole Miss.
I'm sure he is.
Mississippi State is about to roll Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 9-2, and that's fine. That's fine. They beat Vanderbilt by 14 points last week. Mississippi State's about to roll Ole Miss. All right, over in North Carolina, UNC on the road at number 20, NC State. NC State, 6-point favorites at home.
Exactly. Like you just listed it all out right there. I mean, NC State, top 25 at home, expectations.
What could go
North
wrong?
Carolina, they're favored in this one. North Carolina is about to beat them by like 20.
Probably.
Sam Howell's going to go off.
Yeah, give me North Carolina as well. That's kind of an easy one for me.
That's exactly when
Sam
NC
Howell's
State
going to like
loses.
rush for 200 yards and throw for 300 yards, something
Yeah.
wild like that. Yeah, give me North Carolina in that one, especially getting 6 points. All right, clean old-fashioned hate noon on Saturday. Number 1, Georgia undefeated, 35-point favorites at Georgia Tech.
Y'all saw when Georgia Tech played Notre Dame how bad that was?
That was rough.
It's going to be worse. Georgia.
Yeah, give me Georgia. Go Dogs.
Georgia might cover in the first quarter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this one's going to be bad. And also, I think Kirby Smart and Georgia, they got a little chip on their shoulder from last year. Because if you remember, Georgia Tech canceled this game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to want a little get back there.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Scoring up for 2 games.
Yeah, Georgia. Yeah, they're like, hey, this is for 2021 and 2020. This is,
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Enjoy that. Number 2, Ohio State, 8-point favorites at, I guess, number 5, Michigan in the game.
Did you say 8 or 8?
I said 8.
I thought you said 80.
I
My
cursed.
bad.
No, I cursed when I saw this line.
I got you. Yeah, I thought you said 80, and if it was 80,
I said, what the, and then use your imagination when I saw this line.
I'd still take Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's crazy that the game is going to be. I say it's going to be a 2-score game. I'll take Ohio State, but I think it'll be close.
Cam.
14 points.
Cam.
I like
State.
Harbaugh.
Ohio State's absolutely going to cover a Cam. I'll give you a separate line for just me and you. I'll say Ohio State minus 20. So yeah, I'd still take Ohio State.
It's
in that
weird. I believe if you go back and look at the spreads from the last couple weeks, they've been respectable for Ohio State. They've been pretty big, and they've not only covered but demolished those couple
Correct.
teams. And now they make it.
I might need to go. I
Makes
might
no
need to go bet on this one. I need to go take a bet on this.
So you better get out of the state of Georgia. Number 18, Wake Forest, 4.5-point favorites at Boston College. Wake Forest needs to win this one to advance to the ACC championship game.
Normally, I would take it's the ACC, so I would take Boston College because Wake Forest needs it so bad. I don't know. Give me Wake Forest. I'm taking a flyer on them. Go out. And they're more talented, I think, even with BC being stronger now. Give me Wake Forest.
Give me Wake Forest. I like Sam Hartman. I do like him at quarterback. Give me Wake Forest.
Give me the fight, Matt Ryan's. I think Boston College gets it done at home.
I like that name.
And then you're going to see Clemson in the ACC championship game, and everything will be back to normal.
please God.
In a game that used to mean something, Florida State at Florida. Florida, 2.5-point favorites at home. The Gators need a win to reach bowl eligibility.
Yeah, and I think I took Florida State in this one. I just Florida's a broken team. Obviously, just fired Dan Mullen. You know, maybe.
Excuse me, sir. They mutually agreed to part ways.
Okay, yeah, my fault. Yeah, exactly. He just I remember how
I'm sure he wanted to leave. Yeah.
how much he doesn't like that place at all. Yeah, give me anytime you have, and I know it was in reaction to last year. Anytime you have Missouri and their head coach like pulling stunts on you in the presser after they
Yo,
beat
that was
you,
lit.
that's when you know it's bad. And it's bad.
It's bad.
It's Florida State's going to beat you bad.
I got BJ Bennett against Ben Troop.
There you go.
Hit Florida State. I'll take Florida State.
Dang it.
Yeah.
So, wow.
I think both of them looking for a win to get bowl eligible. Actually, they're both 5 and 6.
Dan Mullen's out of there.
A lot on the line. Both 5 and 6.
Give me Florida at home because I think the singularity needs to exist where they're both just 6 and 6. I think that's where it
Florida State
finishes.
6
6
and 5.
and 5, I believe. Yeah.
Really? I didn't know they gotten that many wins this year. Good for them.
Tell me if I'm
Cool.
wrong. Quickly
Gotcha.
here, Georgia Southern at App State. App State. No, are they both 5 and 6 right now?
Yeah, they're
I-
both
I'm-
5 and
Both 5
6.
and 6, so both of them need it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I did that off the top of my dome. Oh no. Yeah, Florida State. Give me Florida
Yeah,
State.
yeah.
Quickly here on this one, Georgia Southern at App State. App State's a 24.5 point favorite.
Yeah, App State.
Oh,
That's a lot of points,
That is
man.
a lot of
But
points.
App State's too good. Give me Appalachian State.
Cam.
I think App State will win, but I don't think by 25 points.
Yeah, I don't
Give
think
me
so either. I think
Southern.
Georgia Southern covers in that one. All right, the Iron Bowl. Alabama 19.5 point favorites at Auburn. Reports of Brian Harsin being mentioned among the candidates to be the Washington head coach, and no Bo Nix in this one either.
And that's the big thing. If he was in, I would at least pick Auburn to cover. But no, give me Alabama.
I think it's time for Alabama to assert their dominance like they normally do back in the day. I think I'll take Alabama this game in the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, only way Alabama doesn't cover in this is if they're already looking at Georgia like at practice. Like Nick Saban's like, it's fine. Let's just start focusing on Georgia.
Right. That's very
beyond-
un-Nick Saban of him.
Yeah, beyond that, I think Alabama's just going to absolutely handle Auburn. Give me Alabama to cover. All right, Bedlam, Oklahoma, number 10 in the country at number 7, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, a 4-point favorite at home.
Oklahoma does one thing well.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma does one thing well. They play close games. I don't know if they're going to win, but Oklahoma is going to cover the 4 points. If Oklahoma State wins, it's going to be by 2 or 3. And, it's a weird Oklahoma State team, too. They play really strong defense and don't really score a ton of points. So I can see this being like 27-24, something like that.
This is the game of the
Something like
week.
that.
I think this is game of the week in my opinion. I'm actually going to go Oak State. I don't know if Caleb Williams or Spencer Rattler's going to get more playing time this game because, they've been back and forth on and off. Oklahoma State.
These games are always so tight and weird, but Oklahoma has dominated this series.
Yeah.
It's
one of the best moments, I forget what year it was, but like Mason Rudolph was a freshman, burned his red shirt to make the start, and then they punted to Tyreek Hill when they were up 7.
Mm-hmm.
He called a fair catch, but Oklahoma State got flagged for something, and Oklahoma took the penalty and punted again, and Tyreek Hill housed it.
Yep.
And he said he was crying while he was running, like tears of joy. It's
Yeah.
like just a weird game.
Yeah.
Just a completely weird game. But for some reason, I feel like Oklahoma's going to win it.
it's mental edge you keep talking about, right?
Game of the
Yeah.
week.
Or
This
we all
is a
keep
tough
talking
one.
about.
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one. It's at Oklahoma State. I just think Oklahoma gets it done. Low scoring game, though, like 24-21, something like that. And
Mhm.
finally here, the Palmetto Bowl, number 23, Clemson. They are 11.5 point favorites at South Carolina.
You can look at last week's game and be like, well, the offense woke up, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe it, though, with Clemson. I'm going to take South Carolina to cover. Clemson wins, but it's like one of those gross games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Clemson. I still believe in that defense. That's a top 10 defense in the
Oh,
country.
for sure.
Still, it's still filthy. So I don't think South Carolina is going to be able to score like that. Give me Clemson.
That's a really good line. South Carolina's been a fun story. They've already clinched their postseason berth. I think Clemson now is playing for something, though, and especially if Boston College has beaten Wake Forest earlier in the day. Give me Clemson. I think Clemson covers that one. Those are our picks. You can see them on social media coming up tomorrow. Again, big time games, rivalry weekend. Do we have we got the Egg Bowl tomorrow night on ESPN Radio there, PJ?
Ooh,
We'll let you know when we come back.
Yeah.
We'll let you know when we come back right here on ESPN Radio. Second Down on ESPN Radio is presented to you by the Uniform Source. Final segment before we get out of here for Thanksgiving. We'll be back with you on Monday afternoon. Had some just heartbreaking news there in the break. Apparently, we're not carrying the Egg Bowl.
Yep.
NFL triple header coming your way tomorrow.
There you go.
So you can
Still get some
slowly fall
enjoyment.
asleep in the car while you're being driven home,
Yeah, exactly.
listening to the dulcet tones
Some
of
fantastic,
NFL football
Fantastic NFL football.
instead of the riveting Egg Bowl.
And listen, it's not our fault that we
It's
don't have
not.
the Egg Bowl.
It's not.
Okay, so let's throw that out
It's
there
not.
too. But
It's not.
NFL football coming your way.
Absolutely. We do want to say we are very thankful for everyone out there tuning in, listening to us every day. We appreciate you. You are why we can do this every day, and you're who we do it for. So we're absolutely thankful for you guys. Hope you all enjoy your Thanksgivings out there. Eat just a pan full of dressing for me. And when they ask you why you keep going back for thirds and fourths, you say Christian sent me. Because that's absolutely what I am going to be doing. For Cam Ursery, PJ Zuko, I am Christian Gokel, wishing all of y'all a very happy Thanksgiving. 3 and Out coming up next. BJ Bennett, Ben Troop, and Kevin Thomas sending you in to the early weekend.